Hello, this is Benji of the Legacy Crusaders YouTube channel, and I played my second round match in Sir Emanons' current Discord tournament. I'm still playing Infernoid Dinosaur, and I'm up against my second round opponent who is on Herald of Perfection. Not even a Drytron build, but let's see what happens. I'll just run through my matches from round 2 of the tournament. I win the dice roll and elect to go second against a deck where it's really difficult to go second against because their combo is so oppressive. Just trying to end with Herald of Perfection plus enough cards to negate everything you do, which pretty much means you need to have Dark Ruler no more to play. So I assume he's on Drytron because I see Ben 10, and I don't really know what he's planning at this point. So he searches Ritual Sanctuary, discards Ritual Sanctuary, activates Dawn of the Herald, and summons Herald of Perfection by tributing Ben 10, which allows Ben 10 to activate, and uses Dawn to add Ben 10 back to hand, and then searches for Venus. So this is when I kind of know he's on the more generic Herald of Perfection build, because the game plan for these kinds of decks is to try and draw into Christia off of Yugioh and then just special it out of your hand so you can't play Yugioh. So he uses a Link Spider and a Imduk to make his fourth name, and then goes into Yugioh, draws 4 cards and puts 3 back on the bottom of his deck. And we'll see if he draws the Christia or not. He seems to have not drawn the Christia. The only fairy for sure I know he has in his hand is the, what's it called? The Ben 10, which is not the card he really wants to use for that. So I activate Fossil Dig. I think that's a misgrab. So I activate Misk. He negates the effect of Misk. So I use the second effect of Misk. And I banish them both to summon Conductor, so I can just run over both cards on the board so he can't negate anything. Now that could have been a misplay. I might have wanted to just kill the Herald and then summon Tiara, and then pop his cards using the tests, but I opt to just destroy his field spell and leave him with nothing. So at this point he's used his Ben, he negated by pitching 2 managers, which means his hand should just have Ben 10, or he might have put it back in his deck actually off of Yugioh, so I don't know what he has, but he's drawing to not much. I have a DD Crow and I have a Book of Moon, and also I had Feast. So we're going to side, go to game 2. Game 2, I side to go first because I made it so blatantly obvious I was going second. I thought he might make me go first, which is silly because his deck doesn't do anything unless he's going first. So I'm just going to run through his board really quickly. I'm just going to upstart. So I forgot to gain the 1,000 life points, which I don't think was relevant to the game. So he activates Extra Foolish Burial, sending Herald. What did he add to his hand? A Ritual Sanctuary to his hand, which he activates. He's going to discard a card, discarding Dawn of the Herald to add Ben 10 to his hand. I think he has pre-prep. Oh, he used prep, so he added a Herald to his hand, which allows him to add Dawn back from the graveyard. So pitching Dawn for prep is broken, so you can just add it back. Activate Dawn's, tributing Ben 10's, activating the effect of Dawn to add back the Ben 10, and then using the effect of Ben 10 to add the Venus. So now he just has to dig for the Christia. Apparently the alternative way to get the Christia to your hand is to summon a second Herald, using the Ben 10 again, and just add it straight to your hand. So he's going to link again into a Link Spider. He shuffles back 2 to summon back his Shine Ball. Apparently this is his crazy tech to prevent his card from losing to Dark Ruler no more. So he's actually going to link these into a Nightmare Phoenix and a Nightmare Cerberus, so he has 2 Fiends. And he makes a Union Carrier, and it gave him exactly 4 fairies in graveyard, so he can activate the effect of Christia to add Venus back to his hand, just to have another fairy to negate with. And he equips his Arc Lord Christia with a light monster. So he equips it with Bee-Buster Drake. So now it is unaffected by spell cards. It just says a monster equipped with this card, so it doesn't matter how it gets equipped. So Union Carrier made this a 3800 Christia that I cannot affect via spell. So currently my hand is useless as it is. So I just draw, and I believe I'm just going to get OTK'd or slow TK'd in this case, because I mean, what can I really draw? And then he actually he puts Dogmatica Maximus on the field. I actually don't know why that's in his deck, but it didn't matter. I couldn't play for Christia, so I just take all the damage, and that should be game. I might have lived for a turn if I had gained the life points off of the upstart, but I really don't know because I wasn't really paying attention to the life point count that much. I kind of checked out on that game. I opt to go second after siding in additional copies of Dark Ruler no more. He's going to start with Ritual Sanctuary, and then pre-prep adding Dawn and Herald. You'll notice I've opened the out, but I also opened Driver, but I also opened a play in Oviraptor, so I have some plays. Now he thought I might go first, so he actually sided out his B Buster Drake. So my only game plan is to Dark Ruler. If he had played the Union Carrier and equipped the B Buster Drake, I would have hoped to draw like Mystic Mine to lock him down on top of the using the Dark Ruler to turn off the Herald. So he has Venus again because he searched off of Ben 10. I'm going to pay 15 and summon a bunch of monsters out of the deck. A bunch of Shine Balls. Going to go into not Christia. Going into Saryuja to find a way to put his Appaloosa. I guess he couldn't get to Christia or he sided it out or something. Oh, never mind. He happens to have enough stuff. So he adds back the Venus. He has 4 monster negates, the Christia, and the Herald. And he activates Lancia to start his turn. And I have to decide how I can live through this. So I just set the baby Sarosaurus since my big play is to try and kill him with just Oviraptor. So I just set it in pass because while he's under Christia, he can't summon either. So I'm thinking if I can bait him to putting the Herald in attack position, that might improve my odds of winning the game. So he just pitches his Instant Fusion to search Dawn of the Herald. And it goes into battle, attacks over baby Sarosaurus, and attacks for 32 using the Appaloosa. And I draw Imperm, which is unnecessary at the moment just because I have Dark Ruler at this point. So I negate everything, and I go into I'm going into Oviraptor with the intent of going into Conductor. So search Misk, banish Misk to summon Archosaur, use that to pop the Oviraptor, and then use that to add Pill. Going into Linkaribo, so I can banish the Linkaribo, and into Secure Gardna. I also summon my Petrula by banishing my Anoku. I put it in the wrong place. I have to put it in the banish zone, actually. Oh, did I do that illegally? Well, I did summon it. And I think I banished it because I'm going to banish a Archosaur and a Linkaribo. So I did it correctly. So I popped the card, and then I summon Conductor, and I'm just going to run through his cards. And the Christia goes onto the top of his deck. I think I took a few minutes to make sure that it would go on top of his deck, and then he wouldn't be able to summon it again, so he's just drawing a dead card. He goes into Dawn, pitching Ben 10, and then adding a card back. We're trying to add back the Ben 10, so I use the Petrula to banish it, and I tribute the Petrula so that if he negates with the Herald, it won't get destroyed, so I give him less reason to negate with it. And he uses the Ben 10 effect to add the Cyber Egg Angel, which can add the Ritual Sanctuary to his hand. So this is all in his turn. So he summoned Herald, and he's going to summon Cyber Egg Angel. And I elect to negate it because I know that Ritual Sanctuary can be really annoying, summoning the same monsters from the graveyard over and over again. But he has Herald for it, so it doesn't really matter what I do. I activated Conductor in response, hoping he didn't have another fairy to try and flip it face down so I could run it over on the follow-up. But he had one more fairy. The Christia he didn't. So he uses the... Did I remember he had the Christia? I should know he has the Christia and the Venus, so I probably shouldn't have done that. In retrospect, that is a misplay. And if I would have just left the Conductor on board, I probably could have run over his monster. I mean, with Ritual Sanctuary, what can he bring out of the graveyard? He can bring out Shine Ball, he can bring out Venus, and I guess this was properly summoned, so with enough fairies he can bring out Herald. I know he's going to bring out Lancia at some point with enough spells, which is crazy, actually. The idea of filling your graveyard with so many spells that you can bring back a... Oh, he's using the effect to summon something back. 3, 4, 5. I guess he gets the Lancia. So I don't take damage from the Secure Gardna. I take a hit from the Egg Angel. He's going to activate the Lancia, and then he has no cards in hand, so I know my Oviraptor is going to be Good. Oh, I get Misk. Might have Oviraptors? There's a chance I sided one out. I think that was a misclick, because I think I go back in and fix that, because I'm just logically going to just summon it and add the Misk anyway. I think we were talking via voice chat, so attack over the Egg Angel, which gives him another target to shuffle back if he gets enough spells in the graveyard, but currently still he can't do anything with his Herald by itself. So he draws for turn. Let me just show his hand, because I'm not used to turning on show hand. Oh god. He draws Preparation of Rites, which is like a double effect of some sort. So he's going to get Dawn and Herald. And I think pre-prep can actually add the ritual monster from your graveyard. So that Herald that was in the graveyard is what... Oh no, he added one from deck, but he could have get one from the graveyard as well. And there's no reason for him to summon it. So he's going to pitch the... So he pitches the Dawn to add another fairy. So he's got 2 negates in hand now. And I still have no way over Herald. And he's going to shuffle back the 2 spells. So he can keep like prepping and getting things back. And he's going to add another Ritual Sanctuary. So he's going to keep spells engraved, keep summoning things off of Ritual Sanctuary. This card is super annoying. In my graveyard, I have 1 Infernoid, so I can't summon any Infernoids at this point. I summon the Misk, and I have to decide if it's worth going into a, what's his name? Dulka. I think I took a little while on making that decision to do that, because it requires him to have more fairies to stop me when I actually do need to make a play. So he draws into pre-prep again, which is just bonkers, because he has the other Herald in the graveyard. So now he has 3 fairies in hand that I should know about. He's going to keep summoning things, so he adds 4 fairies, so he's got 4 negates, and he summons another Herald. And so he adds back the Ben 10, and then activates the effect of Ben 10 to add Manju. Wow. So he summons Manju, use the effects of Ritual Sanctuary again to summon, I believe, the Cyber Egg Angel. And now he just needs to make a monster that can get over me. So he's going to add a Ritual Sanctuary again with the summon of the Cyber Egg Angel. Go into Cerberus, which obviously I have to attempt to negate or I'm destroyed anyway. He negates me, I negate him, he negates me. And I think he just happens to have game on board, and that's just all she wrote. So I did a decent amount, considering I was being locked up by Herald of Perfection pretty well, but... and that's all she wrote. So I'm 0-2 in this tournament, so I will be dropping from the tournament, but I just decided to start actually playing DB rated, but I don't know how much I'll be playing it. I'll be modifying my deck here and there, and I'll just continue to play and see if I can make it better or make it work for the meta. Because obviously I didn't really play against meta in this tournament. I guess Zoo Draco was closer than this is. I don't know, they're both sort of like offshoots of current meta decks. Either way, I hope it looks... I didn't make myself look too bad, minus the conductor that got negated. That was probably just a bad call on my part. Either way, if you're interested in how this deck is functioning and how it's keeping up, continue to follow, and I'll see you in the next video.